All right, everyone. So here's our lunch on this windy, cool Thursday morning still, but almost afternoon. Some tomato soup and butter bread. Okay, everyone. So I have started on the beef tips for supper, and I made this about a month ago. So there's already a video out. I'm doing it the exact same way. So I'll leave the link to that video in the description below if you want to go ahead and see how I made the beef tips. But yeah, I've already cubed up the roast and seasoned it and floured it, and I'm just gonna brown it now. So yeah, just check out that video. That's how I'm making my beef tips, and I'll be making some noodles as well. And for those of you that haven't seen my other cutting board, this is my meat cutting board with wolves on it. So all right, I'm going to continue on, and yeah, just check out that video on how I make this. So right now I'm just browning the meat that is covered in flour so it makes a thicker juice. So that's all I'm doing in this step of the process. So now that the meat is brown, I just take it out of the pan and pour it in a bowl so I can use the pan to now saute some onions. So what I think works best and gives it a nice thick gravy is 1 can of beef broth, 1 can of cream of mushroom, and 1 pack of Lipton onion soup mix. And with this, I don't have to add any cornstarch to thicken up the juice. And now that my onions are sauteed, I'll add the meat back in and then go ahead and add the cans of beef broth, cream of mushroom, and the pack of onion soup mix. All right, everyone. So here is our supper for this Thursday night. Beef tips on no yolk noodles. And the beef tips they simmered for about a couple hours just on low. I had them real low, and they're nice and tender. So that's our supper for this Thursday night, and stay tuned for the next meal. Okay, so for breakfast on this Friday morning, we just had some eggs, lunch meat ham that we just broke up, and we actually used the carton of Idaho Spuds hash browns that we got from the pantry because we're all out of hash browns altogether. So this was our breakfast for Friday morning. So for lunch on Friday afternoon, we just had some ham sandwiches on just regular sandwich bread, mustard, Miracle Whip, and the ham. Easy lunch on this Friday afternoon. So we had some bananas that needed to be used up. So normally I would make banana nut muffins, but I wanted to do something different altogether. So I used a completely different recipe and decided to make chocolate chip banana muffins. So I'll leave the recipe in the description below, but here's what I used. I used 1 cup of flour, 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, Then you just want to mix your dry ingredients together and start getting the wet ingredients together. Okay, I have 2 smashed, very ripe bananas to start off the wet ingredients. Then I'll use 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Then you want to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk at room temperature, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 large egg at room temperature. Then you just want to mix all your wet ingredients together. Then at this point you want to add your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients and just mix together. And at this point I'm just going to go ahead and add in some chocolate chips. Okay, so I went ahead and greased my cupcake pan, and it said this recipe would only make 6 muffins, but I actually ended up getting 10 muffins out of it, and I did fill it up about 3/4 or even more of the way, so it did give me 10 muffins. Okay, so you want to preheat your oven to 425 degrees and bake these for 8 minutes. Then reduce your heat to 350 and bake for another 6 to 8 minutes. Mine were done after the additional 6 minutes, and they were perfect. All right, they're done, and they smelled delicious as they were baking. So now let's see what they look like inside. Okay, so as you can see, these had tons of chocolate chips in there, and these muffins were so good. The texture was completely different from the recipe I was making, and these were so good. I would never go back to the other recipe. Okay, so Friday night we just had the leftover beef tips and noodles, and now we're on to Saturday, and we still had beef tips left. There were so much beef tips that now we're going to have them with mashed potatoes. So we decided to go to the easy way on the mashed potatoes, and I'm just making this bag of Idahoan buttery home-style instant mashed potatoes for our beef tips. And as a side dish for Glenn, he's having a bowl of green beans with butter, milk, and pepper, and warmed up in the microwave until it's hot. So he likes to have that for side dishes. All right, so now it's Easter Sunday, and before we have lunch, I needed to get some Jell-O made. So this is lemon flavored Jell-O. So I'm just making this before we have lunch. And our lunch for Easter Sunday afternoon, buffalo wings for Glenn, honey barbecue for me, and some chicken strips. Okay, so now I needed to get a dessert done for Easter, and I decided to make something I haven't made before. I'm making a no-bake strawberry cheesecake. I'm going to use 1 8-ounce block of softened cream cheese. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the hand mixer and just mix up the cream cheese alone just to get it all creamed up. Okay, now that I've got it creamed up, I'm going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar. I'm adding a little bit at a time because I'm very well known for getting powdered sugar and flour everywhere. So I added a 1/2 cup at a time, and then I just mixed it with a hand mixer and add in the rest. And now that you've got all that mixed up, you're going to add in an 8-ounce tub of whipped topping, whether it's store brand or Cool Whip, it doesn't matter. And then you're actually going to mix it in with the mixer instead of folding it in. And now that you've got all that mixed together, you want to add in a can of strawberry pie filling. And now you want to go ahead and fold in the pie filling until it's all blended together. Now you can either buy a graham cracker crust, make your own graham cracker crust, or do as we do. We just layer graham crackers at the bottom of an 8x8 pan. Because it does have a cover, you can make your own crust and put it in a pie pan, but we prefer it this way. All right, so now it's just time to pour your filling into your whatever you're using as a pie pan on top of your crust. And once you've got it all in there, you just want to smooth it out so it's all even. And then you want to put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 to 3 hours to chill so it sets pretty firm. So I have to say this pie was so good. It was a little sweet, but it was very good. We could have used half of the pieces here. But next time what we're going to do is I'm just going to do a no-bake cheesecake and use that pie filling and pour it on top as a strawberry topping. As you can see, this pie is very thick, but it is so smooth and creamy, and I would definitely make this again, even trying it as a no-bake cheesecake with the topping on top, but I would definitely make it this way again. So 2 winter desserts in this video. And for our Easter supper, like every meal that we have, it's super easy. We're just having spiral ham, some baked beans with brown sugar in it, and some brown and serve rolls. So this is a complete food pantry Easter meal because everything here is from the food pantry. And the ham I'll cut or I'll take off pieces and put some brown sugar on it and throw it in the oven. And that will be our Easter Sunday meal. All right, so here is our Easter Sunday meal. And that's going to wrap it up for this Meals We Ate video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch it. And I appreciate all the support. And with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.